What's up, everybody? This is Fatal Ambitions. As you know, we're doing a 6-month update here in my Mercedes-Benz. It just now hit my 6-month ownership. I just wanted to talk about some of the good things about the car and some of the repairs and stuff I had to done over the last 6 months. And just so you know, if you decide to buy one of these, either what you're getting into or what you're not. Every car is specific, so some cars may have issues, other cars just don't. So let's start off with, I bought the car, like I said, 6 months ago. I got a really good deal on it. It's got a really nice service history. So that was one of the trade-offs. You always want to make sure that when you're buying any used luxury car that there is a service history, because if there isn't, it's just a bad deal, because you'll end up just paying for service after service after service, and that's just not a good thing. So let's start off with the first thing that broke, and it was about 2 months into having the car, was my battery died. Just dead sail, just out of nowhere. Went to leave one morning and it was just would not start. It was just done, right? And that was probably the most expensive battery I ever bought in my life. I had one of these before, but I never had to buy a battery for it. It was an older model. The guy I got it from had replaced it when I first got it, so I didn't own it long enough for me to ever have to replace it, because somebody hit me and they totaled it. So that was like $175 to replace this battery. Well, about 2 weeks into that, after that, the blower motor went out, which is a typical Mercedes thing. I replaced that myself. If you've seen that video, you'll know what I'm talking about. That was $46. If you could do that yourself, it's super easy if that happens, and that'll save you a lot of money versus going to the dealership. The only final other issue that I had that went out was my steering wheel lock. It actually just completely stopped working. I had been driving it all day, didn't have really any issues, and then I had stopped at a CVS, and parked the car, I ran in, came out, and then just nothing. It wouldn't even engage, wouldn't recognize the key to start doing it. It just pretty much doesn't do anything if that lock goes out. That ended up costing me $533, and that was just to have the lock unit rebuilt. If you did take it to a Mercedes dealership, they replaced the lock, the tumbler, and the key as one assembly, because it is a security feature, and they're programmed together. Mercedes does not do any sort of repair or maintenance on anything. They sort of just replace each part as a modular. So if you were to take it to a dealership, that would have been almost $1,600 just to replace this little lock mechanism, which is highly ridiculous, especially when how bad these cars have depreciated. You're talking probably within the next 5 years, if you own one and one of those lock mechanisms went out, it'd be like the value of the car. So that's up to you. If you think owning one of these is worth it. I love the car. I love the last one I had. It was a 2000s model, so this one's 8 years newer. It also wasn't a C-Class. The one I had before was a CLK. It was a coupe, and I ended up getting this and getting the 4-door because I had a baby on the way and I needed something to be able to carry my child in, and the coupe was just not something you could really carry a child in very easily. The back seat doesn't have much room. The C-Class, this one has a lot more room in the back. But like I said, so far that's really not all that bad. I've done a lot more service on this than the old CLK that I had. So I will give you the older Mercedes are a lot more reliable, at least to my standard of what I've seen so far. I owned that other car for about 2.5 years, and I relatively never had to change anything. It really never broke. Never left me stranded, and so far, like I said, this car for the last 6 months that I've had it, it's already broke and left me not being able to drive it twice. The battery, though, you know, was super simple. You just buy it, drop it in, you're ready to go. But the lock thing really hurts. So I'm going to do these updates periodically. So I'll probably do the next one when I hit my year mark, and then every year after that to see if the maintenance cost increases the longer you have the car, or at different points if it's more reliable than others. I understand when you buy a used car, you deal with repairs because sometimes people don't treat their car all that great. So I will, you know, update you and let you know. If you have one, please share your experience with them in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Lots more content on the way. And as always, have a nice day. Peace.